Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Welcome to IELTS Academic with Professor Usman Ghani. Dears, hopefully you are doing great. This is our 6th to 7th class. I don't exactly remember which class it is, but we are actually going to do IELTS Academic, and today we had to go through IELTS Speaking Part 2. We had gone through a few things. For example, if Zoha remembers, we had gone through the different techniques and understanding what part 2 of IELTS speaking is, how much time does it take, and what are the different things that we do take care, and how this actually process takes place, and how much time we allocate to it, how do we answer IELTS speaking part 2. So I'd like you, Zainab, to let me know if you remember. Can you please recapitulate all what we had gone through in the previous class so that I can move forward with
Yes,
the
sir.
next?
If
Yes.
if you are discussing about the IELTS speaking test, then there is the two parts. The part one includes general questions regarding to the life and all that stuff, which constitute about 3 to 5 minutes, and part two constitute almost 2 minutes, basically for which you have to speak, and the whole process continues for 3 to 4 minutes. The 1 minute is taken by the card in which we will just prepare our notes that on which topic and in what order we are going to speak. We have given the card or the question or the topic on which we have to speak for 2 minutes. So we have the 1 minute to make the notes for the speaking, and then we have 2 minutes for the speaking, and then the examiner will ask a general question related to what we have spoken in the previous section, and we have to answer that, and it constitute almost 1 minute. So overall the part two constitute about 3 to 4 minutes. That's the part two. And if we are discussing about the accessing tools which are necessary for the speaking, it will be the account fluency, like we are fluent in speaking. There will be a coherence. If we are like speaking about something related to the school, we are not going to speak about something related to the college. We are speaking about the school. Then it will be the coherence. And like dual resource means vocab. We should have the good vocab, at least 1 to 2 idioms in our speaking part 2 test. And the grammatical range, which will be of not more complex sentences, but the sentences like but, if, and we should use the sentences in the form in which we can merge 2 to 3 sentences in one sentence, so that the communication will be interesting, and the pronunciation will be good, and accuracy will be good. So this is the part 2.
Okay, you had gone into so much details, Zainab. That's very good. Actually, I was expecting you to speak only 2 or 3 sentences just to recapitulate. Very well done. Thank you so much for your participation. Well, let me retell and recall to Mr. Reis. Reis Ahmed, in IELTS speaking part 2 actually, which lasts from 3 to 4 minutes, number 1, and you would be provided a task card or a cue card, you may call, by the examiner. He will hand you over a card on which there would be statements written over it. I mean, there would be questions written over that card, 3 to 4 questions maximum. And you would be supposed to take 60 seconds to make notes on those questions, and then you will have to speak consecutively for 2 minutes on the same questions that you see on the task card. After 60 minutes preparation of your notes, you will consecutively speak for 2 minutes. When you are done speaking with the questions for 2 minutes, then you may be asked 1 or 2 questions by the examiner. And this is what IELTS speaking part 2 is. Hopefully it is clear. Reis, can you please tell me what you understand about part 2, what I told you now?
Yes, sir. In part 2, the examiner give a card in which a different topic are right, and then we make a note for 60 seconds, and then which we are make these notes to speak almost two minutes, and brief how I write and how I speak it,
Okay,
and
nice.
then especially consider sentences and vocabulary and grammar.
That's very good. Thank you so much. That's very good. This is the same thing I've told, that you would have to speak for 2 minutes on the very notes that you would prepare in 60 seconds, and then you may be asked one or two questions by the examiner on the same topic that you have spoken. Let us move forward a bit. For example, Mr. Reis, you see in front of you what you see. Can you please read this for me so that we can make it clear?
Here are two different examples of our two topic task card.
Very
Describe
well
a
done.
holiday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Here are two different examples of a part 2 topic task card. What does mean? As I told you, that examiner will hand you over a task card on which the questions or statements would be written. For example, you see in front of you what is the first statement, and then what is the first question and second question. It means that these are two different cards on which these statements are written. So I would like you, Zainab, to read the first question for me and Reis.
Describe a holiday or a trip that you remember well. Say
you.
when and where this was, what you did, who you went there with, and say why you remember this holiday or a trip so well.
Thank you so much. Zoha, first of all, talking about your pronunciation, you have to be very much careful. Specifically, now this is a spoken part of our IELTS examination, so you have to be careful about your pronunciation. For example, you can better pronounce it in a way. Describe a holiday, not day. Okay? Describe a holiday or trip. It is T, not D. Even if you say T, that won't make much difference. But if you would pronounce it like T, you'll probably get more bans. Okay? Describe a holiday or trip that you remember well. The second word was say. This is not say. Okay? Say when and where this was. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Reis, the first thing you would have noticed, how many statements are there? Can you please tell me, or how many lines are there, Reis?
2 lines, sir.
No.
And 1 sentences.
What I'm asking is that how many statements are there in the question on the task card, which Mr. Zainab has just now read. For example, the first one is describe a holiday or trip that you remember well. The second one is say when and where this was. What is the third one?
What you did.
Fourth one?
That's who you went there with.
Very well done. And the fifth one?
And say why you remember this holiday or trip so well.
Very well done. So we understand here the first thing that we have to do, there is a topic that we have to talk about, and the topic is holiday or trip. Do you remember? Well, got it?
Yes, sir.
Very well done. And how many things do we have to tell? Number one thing is say when and where this was. And what is the second thing we have to tell?
What you did.
Very well done. What you did. And what is the third thing?
Who you went there with.
And what is the fourth thing?
And say why you remember this holiday or trip so well.
So well, very well done. So there are 4 things that I have to answer. Now let us just break these 4 things and try to understand that how do we answer these 4 things. For example, here we go. We make a... Okay, no problem. Let me drag my photo over there. And here we can do this. Okay, so in terms of answering this, the first thing that we have to answer, the topic we have is a holiday or
Trip.
Yes, this is actually the topic that we are supposed to answer, and the first point that we have to answer, that is when and where this was. There are 2 points. Number 1 point is when, and what is the second point, Mr. Reis?
Where this was.
Very well done. When and where this was. This is the second point that we have to discuss. And let me just dig a bit bigger. Okay, so what is the second point that we have to talk about? Ji, Mr. Reis, what is the second point, Reis?
Where this was.
Okay, when and where this was. These are the first points. I included 2 in 1. And what is next?
What you did. What you did.
What you did means, what does it mean, Zoha? Can you please help us replace it with better words that may be easily understandable. We can
What
say
actions or what actions you did at your
what
trip, or
activities. What activities
activities?
actually?
Yes,
Okay,
what
what
activities
activity?
you did?
Very well then. And what is the next point, Zoha? Who you went there with?
Who you went there with? It includes whether it will be a family holiday or whether it will be a friend's trip.
Very well then.
Whether
So
it will be
it
the
means
friends or
okay.
with whom, with the
With
persons, basically the persons with whom you visit
actually,
that place.
actually, it means members or the participants. Clear?
Yeah.
And what
Yes, sir.
is the last thing, Mr. Reese? And say why you remember this holiday or trip so well. So why you remember what? How can we replace why with? Or what can we
Why
replace with?
I think we a special incident, or why I
Reasons.
was
Very well then. Well done.
reasons here.
Specialities you can say, or memorable events or something extraordinary that has happened. You can say special events. Okay, so here we go, and we try to understand that in the first very first actually. Okay, this is actually I can say this is the part 2 question that we would be presented by the examiner. It is in a cue card, and what we have got a question which is on holiday or trip we have to talk about, and the points that we have to talk about are when, where, what you did, who were with you, and what is the reason why you liked it so much and why you remember it so well. Is it clear till now? Do you have any question, Mr. Reis or Zainab?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. No, sir. Very well done. Now we are going to understand how do we answer this. This is actually the question that we have to be very much careful about. How do we answer this particular question? We'll try to understand it in number one thing is we are going to divide the points. Number one. Number two is we are going to make notes on it, and number three is divide the points time wise, making notes on it using transitionals. Okay, here we go. Okay, these are the three things that we have to do with this question. Actually, first we have done what we have divided the points time wise. So how many points do we have here to speak on, Mr. Reis? Mr. Reis, how much time do we have for for how many points do we have in this question on a holiday or trip that we have to talk about?
4 points, sir.
4 points. Okay, so 4 points. Zainab, can you please help us know that how much time would we allocate on each point to make 2 minutes?
Okay, it's 4 points. I think so. It's 2.5 minutes. No,
30
2.5
seconds each.
seconds. Yes, 2.5 or 30 seconds. It's
30 seconds each. It makes 2 minutes basically.
yes, sir.
Very well then. So the second thing is that we are going to make notes on it, and the third one is actually using transitionals. Before we use transitionals and we understand what transitional is, let us make notes first of all. Let us postpone it. So we are going to make notes on this. So when and where this was, this is the first thing that we have to work on. Number two, what you did, what were the activities you did actually. Number three, the participant and the members, and number four is why, what is the reason why you remember this special event. So how do we make notes? For example, for making notes, let us now look back to the very book that we were going through. Here we go. Okay, so I would like you, Ms. Reis, to see this very clearly. Here is an example for the first topic we saw above. Here's the topic task card again. So we have made the points. First of all, describe a holiday trip you remember well. That was the general statement. Then point one, when and where this was. Point two, what you did. Point three, who you went there with. And point four, say when, so why you remember this holiday trip so well. So these are the 4 points we have made. Now what we have to do, we are going to actually now make notes on this. For example, the first thing that we had to give was describe a holiday or trip that you remember very well. So you can write my trip to Paris. So let us make her here. For example, we can write my trip to Paris either, or we can simply write to be. It means that trip to Paris यहाँ पे इस एक्चुअली क्या करना होता है, we have to make notes according to the psychology we have. We can write symbols, we can write words, we can write letters. Actually, we have to save time and we have to manage these notes within 60 seconds. For example, my trip to Paris. Zoha, what can I write as a topic if you were supposed to talk on a holiday or trip? So what would you talk on?
Basically, the holiday or the trip, the farewell trip. I'll be talking about the farewell trip.
Farewell trip. There, very well. Farewell trip.
Final tour or final tour.
Okay, or you can write final tour.
Sure.
So even you can write this way, final tour, or you can simply write F or F/T. So it means it never means that these notes are being read by the examiner. This is actually something for you. This is something for yourself, just to assist you while speaking. When you're speaking, you just have to look on these notes in order to assist yourself. Because when you speak consecutively, it is difficult for us to just recall things and speak in an order. So you will write a few signs, a few notes. You can write even in Punjabi. You can write some signs maybe, or some words maybe, or some letters maybe, which will assist you while speaking. Hopefully, Reis, you are getting my point, what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. I got it. We use shortcuts for making a notes in very short time.
Very short time, because it is only to assist you. This isn't something that the examiner is going to look at after or in the test. So trip, where would you like to go? So what would you like to talk about, Reis? Either trip or holiday trip or what? For example, if I ask you the same question, so what would you like to talk on?
I'd like to talk my trip on Kila Katas with my friend at the last holidays.
Okay, Kila Kartas, you would like to talk about, for example, Kila Kartas. So you can simply write QQ. So it is something which will make you remember that it means actually Kila Kartas. Number 1 point. Okay, so here we go. Now we have to make point 2. We have to talk on. And what was point 2? The point 2 was say when and where this was. Read this for me, Mr. Reis.
Say when and where this was. 2004.
2004
summer school holiday.
End of my primary years. So instead of yes, very well then. So Zainab, you asked that you are going to talk about your final tour. So can you please tell me when and where this was?
Okay, it was the northern areas, Babusar Top, and
No. First, you have to just be very much selective and try to understand the nature of question. You do not have to talk where this was first. This is actually a place, a situation where you went, and the first thing you have to tell in order is actually when this was. So you have to name the time basically. So you're supposed to mention time over here.
Okay, it was in 2017.
2017. You mentioned a year. Then would you like to mention a month?
It was I exactly don't remember, but it
no
was.
No problem. Actually, this is how you manage on expanding on time. For example, if you say it was in 2017 in Lahore, so it means you have spoken only for 3 to 5 seconds on this particular point, and you had to speak how much time? You had to speak at least 30 seconds for each point. Getting my point, what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yes, you would have to expand it. So anyhow, this is actually a technique that how do we expand? We're going to discuss in details later on. But while discussing this, I thought it better to discuss. For example, probably we'd speak 30 seconds. No problem. If we do not have much vocabulary, we can speak 10 seconds or 15 or 20 seconds maybe. But speaking for 5 seconds or 3 seconds only, for example, in 2017 in Karachi or Lahore or Kila Kartas, that won't suffice your time management skill. So you have to manage time to just cover these 2 minutes. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we can do, we can first mention year. Year first we mention, then we can month, then we can mention season as well. And we can mention the particular, you can say, event that happened in the year. For example, there was Corona pandemic in 2019. Or there was, you can say, Women Holiday it was, or Women's Day it was, or 14th of August, 14th of August. It was what do we call it?
Sir, event is the final year tour. Basically, we arranged ourselves
Okay,
with the
what?
assistance of teachers.
No problem. Actually, what I'm saying is that you can mention a particular event that was happening at that time in that country or in that area. For example, there was Corona pandemic in 2018 or 2019, or there was you can say a World Championship football game or World Hockey event, World Hockey Championship in Pakistan, or World
There were
Cricket match in Pakistan, for example. So this is how you can manage it. This is how actually you can add event in order to manage your time. For example, if I say that it was actually, if I remember, it was in 2017, and that was the month of July, and it was very hot season. And interestingly, there was a World Cup cricket match in Pakistan being hosted by Pakistan. So now you have spoken around 10 seconds on when. Clear?
okay, sir.
Are you getting my point? Are you confidently getting my points?
Yes, sir, I got this point. But if there was no event at that time, or I don't
No
know
problem.
about it,
No problem.
so
You can't.
how can I explain that idea?
No problem. No problem, bro. You must not speak that. It isn't necessarily to be spoken. मैं सिर्फ आपको ये बता रहा हूँ कि अगर आप सिर्फ इतना कहें ना कि ये 2016 में था, तो टाइम बहुत कम होगा. लेकिन अगर आप ये कहें कि इट वाज इन 2016, जबकि मौसम बहुत अच्छा था पाकिस्तान में और क्रिकेट मैचेस भी हो रहे थे और ये गर्मियों का मौसम था, तो अब आपने 3 से 4 चीजें जब कही हैं, तो सिर्फ व्हेन को आपने कवर कर लिया तकरीबन 7 से 8 सेकंड्स में. समझ आ रही है ना?
जी सर.
शाबाश. रईस, इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
वेरी वेल डन. अच्छा जी, वेयर दिस वाज. अब सेकंड पॉइंट वेयर है. यस ज़ैनब, व्हाट वुड यू से वेयर दिस वाज?
It was in northern areas
ठीक
like
है.
Babusar Top.
सॉरी, विच एरिया?
Babusar Top.
बाबूसर.
Top.
बाबूसर टॉप. ओके, ये बाबूसर चोटी होगी. ठीक है, ये प्रॉपर नाउन होगा कोई, ऐसे ही है?
Yes sir, ये Babusar Top वो नारायण कागान से आ गया.
ठीक है. अच्छा, अब आपने क्या किया? यू जस्ट नेम ए प्लेस. यू जस्ट नेम्ड ए प्लेस. ऐसे ही है रईस, ऐसे ही है ना? इन्होंने सिर्फ एक नेम को प्लेस, यानी प्लेस को नेम किया है. शी हैज जस्ट सेड के. सही है. अब आप कर क्या सकते हैं यहाँ पे, जुनैरा, सॉरी ज़ैनब, ये चीजें बहुत जरूरी हैं समझने के लिए ना. अब आप क्या कर सकते हैं? इंस्टेड ऑफ टॉकिंग ओनली द नेम ऑफ प्लेस, व्हाट यू कैन डू, हाउ कैन यू एक्सपैंड इट. ये बहुत बड़ी टेक्निक है और ये जरूरी होती है. एक्सपैंड ऐसे कर सकते हैं, आप कह सकते हैं वेरी ब्यूटीफुल एंड सीनिक नॉर्दर्न एरियाज. अब आपने क्या किया? वेरी ब्यूटीफुल एंड सीनिक, ये आपने एक एडजेक्टिव इसके साथ ऐड कर दिए. ठीक है.
Yes sir.
या आप कह सकते हैं कि हाईली ब्यूटीफुल एंड अट्रैक्टिव एरियाज इन पाकिस्तान. तो अब आपने ये इसके साथ जब ऐड किया, सो यू हैव एडेड अ फ्यू वर्ड्स जिन्होंने आपकी स्पोकन को भी बेहतर कर दिया है और साथ साथ क्या किया, आपका जो टाइम है उससे भी कवर कर लिया. क्लियर?
जी सर.
अच्छा, नॉर्दर्न एरियाज. अब नॉर्दर्न एरियाज ढेर सारे होते हैं. आप यहाँ पे कर सकती हैं स्पेसिफिकली
Babusar Top.
नारायण कागान एंड the very destination बाबूसर टॉप. अब आपने क्या किया? अब आपने नारायण का खान भी बता दिया एंड
Babusar Top भी बता दिया.
बाबूसर टॉप भी बता दिया. शाबाश. अब इससे हुआ क्या?
जैसे
इससे
हम
ये हुआ,
इसको ये भी कह सकते हैं ना कि अब देखें, जैसे नारायण का गान पहले आता है, फिर उसके बाद लेलुसर लेक आती है, तो हम उसकी लेलुसर लेक की भी कह सकते हैं. बीच में जो एरियाज कवर कर रहा है वो वापस टॉप तक, तो हम उस एरियाज को भी कर सकते हैं ना.
बिल्कुल. बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा आपने डिटेल नहीं देनी. फॉर एग्जांपल, ऐसे नहीं करना कि इफ यू आर मूविंग फ्रॉम सरगोदा टू लाहौर, सो यू आर टेलिंग दैट फर्स्ट वी एक्चुअली केम अक्रॉस कैंची मोड़, देन लाहौर रोड, देन पिंडी भटियां, देन मोटरवे, देन यतीम खाना चौक, एंड देन वी. सो दिस इज नॉट हाउ यू हैव टू गिव डिटेल ऑफ एवरीथिंग. रादर यू हैव टू मैनेज इट इन अ वे कि नेचुरल सा लगे. फॉर एग्जांपल, गोइंग थ्रू नारायण कागान, वेरी ब्यूटीफुली प्लेस. एक्चुअली द डेस्टिनेशन वाज बाबूसर टॉप. Actually, the destination was Babusar Top. So this is how you have spoken around. If I say one phrase, then second phrase, then third phrase, so you have spoken around this 1.5 to 2 sentences on this particular
Yes, sir.
point. So if I speak now, for example, well, talking about my final tour in the university, that was 2018, and it was month of July. That was very hot season, and there was a cricket match being hosted by Pakistan. So where we went was it was a very beautiful scenic place in northern area, specifically from Narayan Karwan to the very destination Babasur top we had to go. So you might have noticed that I had spoken for around 8 to 12 seconds now. So I have actually expanded my talk to 12 to 15 minutes. Have I not?
Yes, sir.
शाबाश, वेरी वेल डन. ये टेक्निक बेटा, इसको आपने बहुत अच्छे से ध्यान में रखना है. ये बहुत हेल्पफुल होगी आपको पार्ट 2 में स्पोकन के लिए. क्लियर? यहाँ तक क्लियर है? आगे चलें रईस?
यस सर.
शाबाश. अच्छा, अब जो दूसरा पॉइंट है, लेट्स सपोज द पॉइंट इज व्हाट यू डिड. अब आपने जो एक्टिविटीज हैं वो बतानी है. सो लेट अस नाउ गो बैक टू द वेरी एक्टिविटीज. कैन यू रीड दिस फॉर मी रईस? व्हाट यू डिड?
What we saw Paris Eiffel Tower, lots of cafes and museum, river boats.
Very well done. Lots of cafes. Now he is telling actually कि हमने पेरिस गए, हम वहाँ पे आईफल टावर देखा, हमने बहुत सारे कैफेज विजिट किए, म्यूजियम भी गए, और फिर रिवर बोट्स थी, वहाँ पर हमने एंजॉय भी किया था. तो व्हाट ही इज सेइंग, उसने सबसे पहले ये बताया कि वी हैड बीन वॉन्डरिंग एंड ट्रैवलिंग in the Paris or through the Paris. पहली चीज उन्होंने तो बता दी. फिर उन्होंने आईफल टावर एक स्पेसिफिक डेस्टिनेशन है और सीनिक प्लेस है वो बताई. फिर कहा कि हम कैफेज वगैरह में गए, यानी वहां पर कुछ चीजें वगैरह खाई हमने. फिर म्यूजियम्स में गए, वहां पर हमने एंजॉय किया म्यूजियम्स में. फिर रिवर बोट्स थी, वहां पर हमारी कुछ एक्टिविटीज थी. तो इस तरीके से हाउ मेनी पॉइंट्स? 1 2 3 4 to 5 पॉइंट्स हैं इन्होंने यहाँ पर बता दिए व्हाट यू डू या व्हाट यू डिड एक्टिविटीज की मद में. व्हाट आई वाज डिस्कसिंग इज दैट इन द थर्ड पॉइंट और सेकंड पॉइंट व्हाट यू डिड, he has told around 4 to 5 different activities that they had performed. For example, they saw Paris, they saw Eiffel Tower, visited Eiffel Tower, they visited lots of cafes, they also went to museum, and they also had great experience on river boats they had been enjoying on. तो इस तरीके से आप एक मुख्तलिफ एक्टिविटीज जो है वो बता सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, व्हाट आर द एक्टिविटीज यू वुड लाइक टू टॉक अबाउट? ज़ैनब, फर्स्ट आप कोई जगह बता दें जहाँ पे आप गए थे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू वेंट ऑन अ स्पेशल ढाबा, तो ये बड़ी जबरदस्त एक प्लेस है. इसी तरीके से आपने बेहतरीन तरीके से वहाँ पे खाने खाए, तो आप बता सकते हैं कि इट वाज अ स्पेशल टाइप ऑफ करी एंड स्पेशल टाइप ऑफ रेसिपी, दैट इज कल्चरल रेसिपी.
राफ्टिंग की थी हमने, इसके अलावा हम लोग हमने कल्चरल डांस देखा था. तो मतलब ये वाली सारी
जी जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ठीक है. सो उसको एक एक करके करने की कोशिश करते हैं. सो व्हाट यू वेयर यू वेंट फर्स्ट, द प्लेस यू सॉ, फॉर एग्जांपल झील सैफुल मलूक है, यू कैन से, या इस तरह से व्हाट वुड यू लाइक टू टॉक ऑन? कैन यू प्लीज टेल मी?
सर, झील सैफुल मलूक को ही कर लेते हैं डिस्कस.
सैफुल मलूक, अच्छा जी. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट
इज लुडोसर लेक.
Ludosar Lake.
And
next.
The next, I exactly don't remember. We do the rafting.
Rafting, ठीक है.
इसके अलावा
Great lunch and dinner.
हाँ जी.
डिनर विद रेसिपीज, ठीक है. और कल्चरल आप कुछ इवेंट्स कह रही थी, कुछ फॉर एग्जांपल डांस कह रही थी.
कल्चरल डांस था हम लोग इस्लामाबाद में, हम लोगों ने देखा था
इन इस्लामाबाद, ठीक है. अच्छा, अब what the thing which is necessary to be understood over here is you are not supposed to write details here in the points. You just have to write a few words. For example, SM you can say Ludosar Lake, you can say Ludo and Lake, you can for rafting you can say RAF, and then for dinner you can write D only, or you can make some notes or signs which will make you remember that this is something you were to talk about. Then dinner and cultural dance. So these are a few words you can write, either your phrases or your signs. Actually you have to manage all these notes within 60 seconds. रईस, आपको समझ आ रही है ना कि हमने इसको 60 seconds में कंप्लीट करने की कोशिश करनी. क्लियर?
यस सर.
जी जी सर. यस,
वेरी वेल डन. शाबाश.
आ रही है समझ.
जबरदस्त। तो दिस इज हाउ, अगर आप फॉर एग्जांपल सैफी मलूक के मतलब की बताएं तो आप 1 सेकंड 2 सेकंड इसका लगा लें, ल्यूडिशा लेक के 2 सेकंड्स लगा लें, राफ्टिंग में आप जरा चूंकि ज्यादा सारे लोग थे तो आप इसमें 3 सेकंड इसके लगा लें, डिनर पे आप 1-2 सेकंड्स बोल लें, 1-2 सेकंड्स आप कल्चरल डांस या उस पर बोल लें, तो इट मीन्स दैट यू कैन ईजिली स्पीक फॉर अराउंड 20 सेकंड्स ऑन दीज पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट्स। जब आप इसको सेंटेंसेस वाइज बोलेंगे तो आप इसको 20 सेकंड्स तक बोल सकते हैं। क्लियर ज़ैनब एंड रईस?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Very well done.
Yes, sir.
Now let us move to the next point. And what is next point is actually who you went there with. Yes, Mr. Reis, who you went there with.
School friends and 2 teacher best friends spoke French.
Shabash. School friends थे, 2 teachers थे, and best friends spoke French. So this is how you can make points. For point 3, I can write over here. Here we go. Gee, Zainab, how many people were you, and what would you like to discuss over here? What would you like to just make notes of?
Okay. Basically, we were almost 15 to 20 people in
15 members?
one.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. 15 members, in which almost
Including friends,
including 6 to 7 girls, and all other are boys.
girls and boys. ठीक है, ठीक है, शाबाश। और कुछ यहाँ पे मेंशन करना चाहेंगी?
All and there were some outsiders too, like my friends' sisters, or my sister with me, along with me,
Okay, and your sister.
and
Oh,
and we have a tourist guide with us.
tourist guide you had with you. ठीक है, शाबाश, very well done. So this is how you have managed writing a few members over here, mentioning you don't need to write complete words. For example, your sister, you can just name, for example, if her name is Zoha, you can simply write Zainab.